And Seth, I need to ask you that question because before today, when this took effect, I believe Trump said immediately last week he didn't want to make it an April Fool's announcement. He wanted to do it on the 2nd. You were exporting quota-free, duty-free, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So now you're going to be paying 10%. How much of a difference will the 10% make to you?
Yeah, so that's a big problem to us. So for us, we are thinking of even, there's a sister company in the US that we are looking at producing in Ghana and shipping the products to sell in US.
First of all, what exactly do you export?
We export chocolate and other cocoa-related products from Ghana to the US and other parts of Europe. So, in fact, we were looking at this year producing in Ghana, and a sister institution is set up in the US to sell on our behalf there. But look at what's happening. I mean, if you look at the intent and purpose, Trump is looking at this imposition is supposed to shift jobs to the US market, right? Mm-hmm. So if we are supposed to go by what we had planned, that to produce in Ghana, meaning jobs will be created in Ghana for the Ghanaian youth and people here, whilst you ship the product. But now it's looking like this 10% imposition, how is it going to be? Should we produce in the US and create the jobs there? Because if you do that, I mean, you're going to...
That's Trump's point. Trump says he wants to bring jobs to the US.
Exactly, right? So that's the kind of problem that's been created now. So there's an impact. So,
but even if you have to do that in the US, you still have to export the raw material then.
Exactly. So cocoa is more of an international product, right? So you can easily buy it from elsewhere, right? Yeah. So that one will not be much of a problem. Yeah. So the issue is now, after you've added value to it and you are sending from the origin of Ghana here, then there's a 10% because of the origin. Mm-hmm. I mean, fortunately, we are better compared to like Ivory Coast, that is being hit by 21%.
Yes.
Yeah. So it depends where you look at it from. But everything here is a big blow to us. We are now looking at the figures, how it's going to impact on the company, and the kind of decision you want to make.
How many people do you employ?
Oh, directly in Ghana, we are about 20 people.
Okay.
Yes. But there are other indirect jobs that we create.
So your cost of doing business will go up?
Exactly.
At least by 10%?
Yeah. And it's going to affect the price of our products, right, on the market. So
on the market there in the US?
Exactly. But I mean, the other good thing is that it's not only Ghana that's affected. So other European countries, Switzerland highly hit by the tariff.
And Switzerland exports a lot of finished, cocoa products.
So if you look at the entire market and what's happening, it's an interesting development, and we see to see how things will pass out in the next.
Just before I go to my other guests, though, if you look at the 10%, have you sort of quantified it just yet as to what it will mean for your bottom line? Because now when you get to the ports in the US, you have to pay that tariff, when previously you didn't have to budget for it. How much more is it going to cost you to do that?
Okay, so
looking at the volumes that you export.
Yeah, so we as an organization not so much concerned about the cost, because this is a cost that will be transferred to the end consumer, right? So it's more of making your product less competitive right, on the market. But as I said, the good thing is that it's not only Ghana specific. It's affecting, I mean, all parts of the world. As I said, Switzerland is even having around 20 to 30% hit. So meaning, if we are being less competitive, they're also being hit by that, right? So maybe those companies that will be on the, I mean, they will say the advantageous position will be those that are cited in the US.
It's a very interesting point you make about even the Ivory Coast scenario, because they have a higher tariff there. And they also, of course, they are the largest producer of cocoa now and cocoa products. They add more value even than us, we know that. If it's going to cost them more to export to the US, it makes sense, does it not, if you're a business person in Ivory Coast, to bring your cocoa products to Ghana and export it under the Ghanaian umbrella, and then you get the 10% instead of the higher ones there. So there are opportunities there, I guess.